10 String Tavern, episode 74, everybody. About a year from our last Valley Survivor karaoke. If you're not tuned in to all, what camera on that one? If you're not tuned in to all the fun that happened at Riverside last year, we had the most unique karaoke competition in a Survivor elimination style. And this year is no different. It starts June 22nd, brought to you by Bryan Tinnel, Urian Sounds. We have myself as a judge returning, and Doug Richardson joining me on this episode, along with last year's winner, Megan Covington.
Woo.
So last year when Doug and I were judging this competition, we just saw, so it's based off Survivor. It's based off of forming teams as much as it is like raw talent and singing and, eliminating everybody weekly, forming like almost tribes and stuff. We got to watch the drama unfold. And I'm real psyched that we have Megan here to kind of give us that, the first person perspective of what went on, because, we listened to all these guys saying, we judged them and stuff, and we would go to the backstage kind of like, playing out what's going on. But during that time, all kinds of stuff was happening with the contestants, and I wanted to get better perspectives on that because it was very interesting.
I don't know why, but every week, everybody played the game fair until the end.
Yes.
Like, I would have voted off the best singers right away and gave myself a better shot. But everybody voted so fair that I was like, it kind of took the fun out of it initially. And then, Megan, I'm going to pull the Band-Aid off. Why did you vote Neil off?
Stop! Neil, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I think about it all the time. We're not going to dive right into that part, but I will say, to that, I think why everybody was being so fair is because I think it was just so different from what everyone's done. Like, everyone's done competitions where it is based off of best singers and all that. So I think this one, people didn't really know how to do it. Like, people weren't just like, oh, well, they're really good, so they should get booted off. It's, oh, well, they're really good, so they deserve to be in it.
Now, you've competed in Idols before, right?
I have.
Around there, yes.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. And yes, they're all fair. It's like you want to be the best singer. That's how you get through another round. But this, I just think everybody was just kind of still confused on like, well, they're good, so they deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think when the drama started and people started, forming little alliances or saying that they did, people got a little paranoid, and I'll say I did. Because,
So let's hit everybody with the details first, so everybody knows what we're talking about. Then we'll jump into like last year. So starting June 22nd on a Sunday, and the next 4 Sundays after that, we're starting out with a group of competitors, and we're eliminating average about 2 a week, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the signups and how the competition goes. But yeah, every Sunday leading up to the finale, where we have all kinds of great prizes from sponsors. We have cash prizes, first, second place. We have weekly gift card drawings from sponsors, and I'll put all the sponsors down in the corner of this page. Brian, looking back at last year, what's the difference between last year and this year's competition? What are you excited for?
I think this year a lot more people are going to play it like Survivor instead of playing it like it was an idol.
Yeah.
A lot of people that will return now understand how the game is to be played. And if you build your right alliances, they will have a great time. And preferably, hopefully the right person will win again this year.
Yeah.
And we will have just individuality. They're going to network together and learn to help each other, learn what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing.
How many weeks in did you notice until it started into forming alliances? When did you see the start of like separate? For me, it was like maybe week 3. I noticed like, well, these 2 tables weren't sitting together. Yeah,
So it was the funniest thing because the table of like 10 contestants, right? They all sat together, and like the judges' table was right next to that table. So it was funny because they didn't talk to each other about who they were going to vote for. So there wasn't like, we're going to vote this guy out.
Yeah.
That happened later, but initially it wasn't like that. And then the other contestants got paranoid and started to like talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had Chase, I'm calling you out. You did this.
Chase, yes.
Chase came out and he starts telling the contestants, they're gunning for you. You need to vote for this person. Like, it was cool to like see him stir the pot a little bit, and he did it the week after he got eliminated. So I don't know if there was animosity there. He's like, I'm gonna get this.
He was like cornering people in separate rooms at Riverside. Like he's like, this is what they're doing to you, and then turning around and doing the same person like on the other side of the bar.
Yep.
One of the contestants that's not going to be able to return this year, I don't believe so, Keith Coleman, has stepped up and become a sponsor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
He said that he loved it so much. He loved the style. He said he came out of his shell and he would not talk to people until I walked over to his table and said, look, if you don't talk to other people and build alliances, they're just going to vote you off because nobody knows you.
Yeah.
You're not even socializing. He opened up, became that person that walked around and talked to everybody, and he's loved it ever since. He said, I don't care if I can't compete this year. I'm at least going to be a part of it. Hopefully he'll be down one of the nights with some swag and some stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got close to him, me and Andy. Like, we started sitting by him because we met him and his wife, and we're like, oh, like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, you know, just talking about it. And we started sitting with them, like, in the later weeks. So, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.
That week that you were talking about earlier, I won't throw you under the bus, but that week you were talking about earlier, and I told you that one of the people from your table was the one that voted for one of you, that was the week.
So, are you talking about
So Tyler.
Tyler? Okay.
Tyler voted for Andy that week, and you thought it was somebody else.
I'm not going to lie. We thought it was Keith because we were doing the numbers, and it's just hard. It's hard. That's what's hard. You, like, make friends, but then you're also like, can I trust you, really?
Don't forget the judges were allowed to use some saves.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't think that they really... I had no votes. I had not a vote in the world.
We did 1 week, and it was because somebody was... It wasn't because they were...
It was like a four-way tie.
No, we did a save because somebody had a bad week, and we knew they were a pretty good singer. And I can't remember which one it was, but we did one save, and then they got pretty far in the contest. And then, like, last year, of the top 3 we had, 2 of them were on the chopping block in previous weeks. So it was like every week it, like, changed up in school. That's also why, like, people asked, like, they brought up, like, you should do, like, one elimination at the end and do all that stuff. If we did that, then, like, if you have one bad week, that would, like, weigh on you the whole contest. You wouldn't have a chance to come back from that. You could, like, ruin your whole chances. So I still want to keep, like, we're going to do the weekly eliminations, and it just keeps it interesting. Like, it's like...
So there was a competitor, super talented singer, one of the nicest guys you could talk to, joined up with his mom so they could have some bonding time. When did you decide it was time to vote him off? When did you guys turn on Neil?
Listen, it's not that simple. So, okay, I'm going back to what you said, how, like, there was a group of 10 of us, and we didn't really discuss who to vote for. We were just like, oh, we're, like, automatically kind of an alliance because we're all friends. But I think everybody caught on to that, and they started picking us all off. So then it got down to, like, 6 or 5 of us. So then Chase said what he said, and we started getting paranoid. So what Chase said was that people were coming after us, that they made a group, and they're coming after our specific, friend group. So then we were like, well, we have to get schemy about this. So we started saying, like, who can we let, slide through another week or so that, But Neil's really good, so it's a singing competition, but it's Survivor karaoke. So if you want to make it through, you got to cut out the competition.
Yeah.
So probably halfway through is when we started scheming and coming up with who we need to get eliminated. And Neil's very good, so he had to go.
Neil was my pick for the finale. Like, Neil, every time he sang a song, he performed. He was fun to watch. And when you guys voted him off, I was like, damn.
It still haunts me. But it's Survivor karaoke. Like, it's the name of the game, unfortunately. It made me feel terrible. Like, I still feel bad, but...
Yeah, and it's like the votes were so overwhelming that it wasn't like... It didn't feel right to do a judge's save because that's the point of Survivor. Like, they obviously were scheming. Like, you have to honor the scheme.
Yeah, it was like...
Time to play the game.
Yeah.
Week 1, I want to see people scheming. Like, I want to see people voting for, like...
This year is going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people know how to play the game now. So, if it's your first year, I want to point out, to me, the point of any contest, any karaoke contest at all, is to network. because there can only be one winner, right?
Yeah.
So like I would do Lou Baido every year, and every year I would make I want to make the top 10. I don't want to win, because every week that put me in front of a different crowd of people that would never have seen me sing any other time.
Yeah.
So networking is like number one. And this game helps because you have to. You have to network to make alliances and talk and plan out stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, and two, I think I said this last year, but like this is the only competition that every judge is involved in the music
That's
scene.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the idols I've seen, it's just like you are singing and being judged by the sponsor's
Yeah.
husband or something that
I'm gonna
is
make
an,
no comments
is an
on those.
asphalt company. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
And it's like, but it's like you have me. I sing in Splash Panel. I've done hundreds of shows locally. You have Matt Van Fossen, who did he just win an award, like a country artist award?
Josie
Yeah.
Award, yeah,
Yes.
Nashville, yeah.
So like,
Second year too, second
Right.
year in a row.
so it's like Matt Van Fossen's there. Megan has sang with Splash Panel. She comes up on stage. She's
Like in the same
performed.
room?
Yeah. So I brought her on stage, like we performed together, and then you have played guitar for like every country act in the valley,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's cool to see those like perspectives come together, and then you get a chance to like talk to the judges. If you want to be a better singer, this is the contest to join.
Yeah.
Even if you don't win, we give every week. You go up and you sing a song, and we critique you, and we're like,
Yeah,
this is
you
what I
will
would
get
work
better
on.
week by week if
Yeah,
you join.
you do, and it's
And I think it's cool too because we mentioned it last year on the episode, but we have two totally different judging styles.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You could close your ears and you could give them critique like what you're like invested in. I'm listening for that note that they have to hit. I'll know if they hit that note or not, and I could close my eyes to do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's and then we have Megan who's part of the competition and knows what was going on behind the scenes, and then with Matt too, who's the artist that he is.
This is another thing too. If you're thinking about joining, the deadline is Sunday the 22nd. What time's the contest start?
6.
So at 6 o'clock the contest starts. Get there early, sign up, and then that week one's going to give us a finalized list of people.
Yeah.
It is 5 weeks, right? The contest is 5
5
weeks,
weeks.
right? If you are going to compete, get a piece of paper and write down 10 of your best songs.
Yeah.
Because then you can go down that list like, all right, week one, I want to do this. And you have to give yourself a choice because two people can't sing the same one.
Right.
But, like, play the game to win.
Yeah.
But don't, like...
That's what I did. I picked the best songs that I know well that I've done in karaoke, so, and make sure to do, like, a variety of genres.
If you don't have to look at your screen, that is going to help. It won't help you from, like, the competitor standpoint. Like, they could still vote you off. But when we're picking, like, the performance of the night for one of these sponsorship gift cards, that's going to be huge. Like, that's going to be a big play in it. Like,
Yeah.
don't stand there and just sing the song. Get up there and perform the song and have fun with it. And, this is a chance for you to meet people and actually start booking your own stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because we had that basically acoustic show
Yeah.
that last week of competition.
yeah.
Yeah, with the critiques, you'll get better and better. And I think it's important to point out, too, it's like it is survived. There's going to be scheming and voting off. But as you go toward the later weeks and the contestants dwindle off and the judges have a higher percentage of the votes, it's going to come down to a little bit more talent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because when the competitors have just as many votes as the judges, it's going to get into less of tribes, more of
Yeah.
now it's time to buckle down and give me my best song. Or
Exactly.
What would you say to people who, they want to pick their best songs and they want to perform like their best, but then wouldn't that be a bigger target on their back?
So this is how I view it, and I might be wrong because you did it. So this might be a different viewpoint. I say you don't know when you're going to be eliminated.
Yeah.
So come out of the gate hot so you can sing that best song and perform that best song in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, my best song is Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy, and I'm like, I'm going to sing that next week, and then I get eliminated this week, I never got that chance. So I'd come out of the gate with your best performance. Because the thing is when I'm looking for acoustic openers, I look at the competitors for Survivor Karaoke. I'm looking at these different people. Like, who do I want to call? And I've reached out. I've made posts, like, looking for opening acts. I've had one competitor even remotely interested in, like, doing the acoustic thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, well, there's not a lot of like people coming back there. But I have reached out, like, hey, learn this, take the next step.
Yeah.
And that brings me to, like, you want to come in with the artist development.
Yes.
So go ahead and give us a little bit of what we've talked about.
So basically, I want to have, because there's two types of competitors in this competition. Ones that would go on to the next level. One that karaoke is just their thing. That's what they want to do. So what I wanted to do for 10 String Tavern, as far as like a prize goes, is if you're on the fence, if you just want to do karaoke, you just have fun doing it, you like the elimination side, if there's nothing that we can offer you as far as artist development, if you own a business, your family member owns a business, we'll have a marketing sponsorship set up for you with our various shows. But what I want to do for artists is, with this studio, we are capable of doing live streams, live music performances, podcasts, interview, whatever we want. We will structure a month-long artist development deal where you'll be exposed or get as much content as you could possibly want for your, because like last year we had like you See Nasty, and we had like Safe Free, and those guys that put content out. If there's a way that I can help them, be like, hey, come in, let's plan out 2 months of content. That way you come in for a couple of days this month, then for the next 3 months you have stuff to put out. Yeah. And that's what we're going to kind of do. If whoever comes out of the gate of this competition, if they're on the side of I want to further my music career, we're going to have a sit down in the studio and we're going to, lay out. Or if you don't want anything like that and your mom owns a crafting business, send me a script and I'll start running it to boost her business, something like that.
I will say last year there was 1 week where like I was the only judge. I can't remember what happened. Like the other judges, like you
I was
were
in
sick.
vertigo.
Yeah,
I
you
had
had
10
vertigo.
days of vertigo. Yeah,
you had vertigo, and
that was fun.
I can't remember why the other judges weren't there, but so I was the only judge, and I didn't give like the critique at the end, and like people complained. People were like, "You're not going to tell us like what you would change?" I was like, "You want us to? Like, is that a thing you guys?" So like this contest, like once you do your performance, we're going to give you like some criticism. We'll tell you what you did good. We'll tell you what we would change. I'm excited to see how nice you're going to be when you have to do that.
I'm going to be only nice because I don't want to critique anybody.
Yeah.
We need a Simon.
I know.
You know what I mean, obviously
no
I'm
from you, dog.
Obviously I'm the Randy.
Yeah, for sure. My favorite. I will say this too. Like your notebook when you take notes, you need to like.
I was mean on. That's what I felt bad about. I was mean on the notes, really nice on the microphone until Chase went up and started reading the notes I had on everybody. I'm like,
Chase, you're the villain of the contest. You have to be in it again.
Yeah, Chase, please come back.
Dude, it's
Fortunately, I've talked with Chase several times. His work schedule will not allow him
to. Quit your job.
Yeah.
Works clear in Pittsburgh now, so him making it to there and then making it to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that sucks. We do need another villain.
8 p.m. start will not work.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it was cool seeing like, because the judges, we get to see who got the votes every time. Like I get this question a lot too. So we structure how many people we have to eliminate to keep the flow of the competition going.
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, when I'm like, I need you guys to vote for 3 people, that's why. I need you to vote for 3 different people, because if everybody just voted for one, and there was one obvious person that was going to be the bottom, which that did happen. We had one person that got every vote because they just did not do a good job.
Yeah.
If we would have did that, I would have only been able to eliminate him, and then we would have kept too many people in the contest. So when I ask you to vote for 4 people, 5 people, whatever it is, we take those votes, and then the bottom, whoever gets the most votes to be eliminated, those are the ones we eliminate, and we figure out what to do next.
Poor Sarah. She couldn't show up 2 weeks in a row. The first week she made it through.
Oh, yeah.
And she wasn't even there.
Yeah.
But we told everybody you have the right to vote for her because she is in the competition. The first week they let her go. The second week it did not happen.
Yeah.
But
and then
she's another one with a strong voice.
Was it Tyler? Is that his name that wasn't in week 1? He missed a flight or something?
Yeah, he
came
was
back in hot too. He came back with like Mr. Robot or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
I love that.
Yeah, that was cool. Seeing him get that far in the contest, because he just does karaoke, and he used to only do it at the West. So just get him like out of that shell and actually be in the competition was cool. And then
Is he coming back?
I don't know. And
Tyler, come back.
Nobody's talked to him. I will reach out this week to everybody that was in last year's, because I do have everybody's individual phone number if it still works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I don't have your number and you were in it last year, please contact me.
Yeah.
Either on my social medias or my personal phone.
And I think we definitely got to point out that the content that we're putting out for this competition is going to be exponentially more, and then we're going to have weekly shows. So instead of night of, at the end of the competition, we collect all our votes, we announce who loses. Instead, this year we are going to do a live stream every Wednesday. I think that we picked Wednesday evening. So we'll tally the votes. We'll have performance of the night announced on that Wednesday show. So we're going to come in here for a live stream. You can tune in, and that way, if any news pops up, or we can let people know how many we're eliminating if it does change, week by week.
That also helps out for our sponsors, which we did pick up a few more sponsors this year.
So,
and a lot of them are based off of needing to get out there.
Right. So who's returning sponsors? We have Frizzy Customs.
Yes. We have Hillbilly Hauling and Superior Seal Coat and Striping.
Okay.
Those ones are returning.
Returning ones. And then
Marianne has her little shop over in downtown Wheeling. I don't remember the name of her shop right off the top of my head, but she's returning as a small sponsor for one of our nightly gifts.
Okay.
We are excited to announce a new partnership with a couple other ones that have come on. Keith Coleman has Vision One Flooring.
Okay.
And then we brought on the Wheeling Miners.
I saw it, yes.
They're going to give out season tickets and swag bags.
That's awesome.
Swag bag.
We're talking a hefty donation right there from them to become a sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
At least 8 tickets.
That's cool.
And then we have Rich Investments Group, who are donating gift cards for our Performance Tonight bonus. And there's a special offer that I'm not allowed to say on this episode that for all the contestants and everybody involved that I will say on the mic week 1. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, Rich Investments definitely brought it to the table with that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So during the contest last year, was there anybody that shocked you when they got eliminated? Like,
I'm trying to just refresh my memory with how it all went down, but shocking.
Neil wasn't shocking to her because
she was involved.
That's in the back of my head. It's hard to say shocking because, so the first few weeks, I would say our friend group, because we didn't really have an alliance. It was just like an unspoken alliance because we all sat together, but we didn't really talk to each other of hey, we're going to eliminate these people. So seeing half my group get eliminated, I was like, oh,
yeah.
No, not a curse. Oh, shoot. So that, but then everything else was scheming, so that wasn't a surprise.
Devontae was mine. I wasn't expecting Devontae to go, and he did. And actually, I'll say it, that week, Randy was on the chopping block and Devontae was on the chopping block, and we had them both here. And Devontae had made a comment about he doesn't want to do the contest, so we just gave it to Randy. We gave it to Randy instead. But if Devontae would have made it over Randy, that contest would have been completely different.
The landscape would have changed.
Yep. It is cool to watch all that stuff.
I think Reese put on some great performances.
He did.
I think if I had to pick a single performance of the last year, I think it would be the Men in Black.
Yeah.
Men in Black.
He brought
hands
costumes,
down.
Costume, backup dancer, everything.
And that's bring your. And after that night, I told him, I said that performance saved you because I think they did 2 songs that night.
And one was a theme.
And one of them, the one song he did not do very well. And I was like, if you don't step this up, and then he threw that performance, and it really did save him that night. He would have been out that week so that one song pushed him on to next week, and then we had the big cut for the final 3.
I'm very excited to see how this time goes because it's gonna be so different. I want people to pull out the stops, but I also want to see if alliances are gonna be there from day one. Just very curious to see it from your guys' side this year.
Yeah, it was fun to turn around and just to see tables change. You don't really think about it when you're walking through the patio, but you kind of say hi to everybody, get to your table, and then all of a sudden you turn around and get a beer and be like, why is she sitting on this side? Why are those 2 over at that bench talking? Yeah. It was really cool to see. What we need to have is on all the Big Brother reality shows, just have a couch with a camera on. That way you can do little commentary in between.
That might be cool to do. We pull some interviews for the contestants, and we'll broadcast them on the Wednesday show.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be spicy. I would like that.
That would be cool.
The only problem is if you say too much, then you are going to put a target on your back for the following week. I heard what you said about me, now I'm coming after you. But
I grew up on
We'll save
shows
that
like
for the blooper reel at the
Yeah.
end.
yeah,
At the
yeah.
end, save
I'm
that.
thinking shows like what's that, Love of Flavor Flav or stuff, where they always have that little like a green room where you can talk about what's going on.
Love that
I
show.
do 1 week, and we have to figure out which week, but it's just going to be 1 week. I'm going to have a towel or something, and if you cover the screen for your song, it's an automatic save. You cannot be eliminated that
Ooh.
week.
That would be nice.
But we're only going to
Yeah.
do it 1 week because, like, we've only got 5 weeks to, like, start eliminating people. So,
And if you're just singing karaoke too, some people just have that one song they know by heart. Then
yeah.
Well, a lot of people told me before when they're saying karaoke, like when 2x4s and stuff, like what do you need on your stage? And a lot of people don't even read the music by the beat. They have to see that word highlighted to know when they come up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you do that, or do you kind of? I'm sure that you.
I make sure I know every single word of every song that I do. Like, that's just me, but
Yeah.
that would throw me off with the highlighting
Yes,
of a
yeah.
karaoke
They
screen.
said-
Different versions of different songs
Yeah.
come in differently too. So.
Yeah.
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 If you know the song well, you'll know it by like the beat of the song,
Yeah.
not the screen.
That is another thing that got brought up last year where the contestant put their song in, and the version that they're used to wasn't the version we played. If you find that version on YouTube or anything, send Bryan that link so he can make sure that he
Yeah.
has the version
Yeah.
you want to do.
And,
Then-
and the service down there is not the greatest, so I cannot download it on the fly.
Yeah.
I have to have it
Yeah.
before we get there.
We'll mention on our Wednesday show too. I think once we announce everything, when would you like to have their songs in for that Sunday?
I mean, I have to have it before Saturday.
before Saturday. So maybe like Friday deadline or something.
Friday night deadline, Saturday morning at the latest. That way I have at least a day to make sure that I'm finding versions. If I have to pay for it and buy it, then I'll go to Carafun and get it, and I'll purchase what I need to get so I have it saved.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say since people don't know until Wednesday if they're making it, if you're not sure, still just start picking your next song for next week.
Prep
just
me,
so
yeah.
it's not like, oh, you find
You
out
need
Wednesday.
2 songs anyway, because
Yeah.
if 2 people give me a song, I'm telling you both to pick something different
Yeah.
this week, because that's what I did last week.
I can't remember. I think it was Lou Beidel, and I was sitting with Devontae because I convinced Devontae to do Lou Beidel, and
You convince him to do everything.
yeah, you have to push him, but I make him a better human being. But he was like, I'm gonna do this song for my audition song, and Tyler of all people did the song as he's saying he's gonna do. He's like, I had to pick another song. It was like last minute, but like those kind of things, like you do have to have your backup song. The save week will not be week 1, so if you have a song that you know by heart, don't do it week 1. That way,
Yeah.
like when the save week is announced, and we'll announce the save week on the Wednesday show.
Yeah. And like you said, like come with your A game. I don't know how this year is going to play out at first, but I know like week 1, nobody who was put effort into it got eliminated. I don't think.
No.
I don't think
Nobody.
so.
We will critique you on like how you hold a microphone, how you your stage presence and stuff like that. And when it comes down to the judges voting, I do pay attention to if you listen to it or not. And I'm like, if you're just like, I would talk like Chase. I would tell him like put the microphone in front of your face. He's used to holding it off to the side. It's just what he's done.
Yeah.
And he never changed that. And like so when it came down to the elimination, I didn't want to like. We could have used the save, but we didn't. We were just like, well, we
Right.
agree with the elimination. We
Yeah.
agree with, doing it that way.
What are you looking for when you're judging? What is going to be your biggest critique? Are you going for like stage presence? Or are you looking the music wise? You listening to
I
all the
mean,
notes?
Stage presence, I feel like it's physically impossible for me to stand still when I sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like just even moving around a little bit would help. But I feel like just picking a song you're good at, and like so you're powerful behind the notes, that you're gonna hit every note well.
Yeah.
So don't like just go up there, sing something that's out of your reach, and you just stand there, because that's kind of like karaoke.
Yeah.
So I would say just move around a little bit. Pick a song
Yeah.
you know well, so that way you can just move around the stage a little.
That's kind of like how I'm with stage presence. Do you check the
Yeah.
box? Are you
Yeah.
standing still, or like you kind of fluid with it? And then it kind of goes to music with me.
One thing too is I can't remember the girl's name. She did Evanescence last year.
I think Sarah.
Her name was Sarah as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
that.
She did really good, but she missed a note.
Yeah.
And I have seen her hit that note at karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is you're singing one song. You don't get like 5 or 6 warm-ups
Yeah.
to then hit that song.
I remember looking at it was either you or Tim thinking like that one single note might have got her eliminated.
Yeah,
That-
like
it
it was
was
one
it was
note
one
off.
note, and like that was before like the the sides started forming.
Yeah.
And it was almost like people needed a reason to vote somebody off. And I remember like it was just like a very profound sour note, and I'm thinking like that might giving everybody the reason.
Yeah. It was just her voice cracked. And I will tell you, singing, like when we do Be My Girl and singing that note, my voice cracks all the time. It's just I'm singing, 30 plus songs in a night.
Right.
So you're not just critiquing the one, you're
Yeah.
critiquing the whole show. So when you guys pick your songs, pick a song that you can do consistently. And then like later on, if you make it further in the contest, when you do 2 or 3 songs in that one sitting, then maybe put those songs out later. But
Yeah.
And then anybody who was in last year's competition could tell you that the sound system that I provide is it's not just your average karaoke system.
And you upgraded since last year. You even the contestants don't even sound even better now.
And we've added some new speakers. We'll have a better line array across the front of the stage for your monitors.
Yeah.
It'll be all the way across, so if you're moving around, again, we're putting out a great system. If something does happen that's on my end, I will make sure that I announce that a technical error happened or something like that.
Yeah.
But please don't judge the contestants on something that I did or something that happened.
that's a good point too. Is like when you do this contest, the microphones you're using are Phoenix Pro microphones. They're not like those $50 Amazon mics that you're buying. These are legitimate microphones. The microphone the contestants use, I use the same microphone when I do acoustic shows.
Yeah.
So I'm out there doing paid gigs using these same microphones. We're running everything through an XR system.
And Brian's mixing bands. I mean, this is coming from
Yeah, Bryan has ran sound for us multiple times.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks for that. Thanks for that shout.
But he's ran sound for us multiple times.
But I also had a redemption
he-
for the Splash Panel show at the Miners game.
Yeah, he ran sound for us at West Banco Arena. So the guy that's behind the karaoke booth is running sound for us at West Banco Arena. There's no excuse for you to we are giving you the tools to sound as good as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And so I do like that too. It's not like some half-assed karaoke contest.
And I like how this year, comparatively, like every week there's so much more to win.
Yeah.
Just for showing up and having fun. For the performance of the night bonuses
that's
every
a nice
week.
shout out to the sponsors. They are
yeah.
definitely bringing the game this year, and they're giving us more tools.
Especially all those season tickets, just thinking that you can show up and just have fun and just get the minors season next year covered.
Contestants, if you're going to use those tickets, let me know because I want them.
Yeah.
But no, that's legit. This contest is what's the winner get this year?
The minimal for the winner right now is $1,000.
So it's $1,000 if you win the contest.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the biggest pot I know of in a karaoke contest around. The judges are people that are involved in the local music scene.
Yeah.
So this has to be one of the best karaoke contests, period. And we're bringing it to Powhatan Point. So it's
and especially obviously if a singer from a touring band comes in, we're like, bro, what are you doing? But for somebody that's on that cusp of doing karaoke and think some of the competitors we had last year, think that they can go to that next level. The amount of prizes, with the monetary prize, with the artist development, with the gift cards going to places that are going to help them. I mean, this is the perfect this is the perfect thing to get some practice in, to get the reps in, but also you can set yourself up pretty nice with all these weekly prizes and what we're doing.
And that's the thing too, is I would tell contestants, I'd reach out to Jake, send Jake some songs you want to do acoustically, and just jump up there and perform. And you have that opportunity because we see you performing, so I know what you sound like. And if I'm watching somebody and these guys are really decent, I'll message you and be like, hey, do you want to do an acoustic set and open up for us? Do you want these opportunities?
We have some talented guitar players in our repertoire of people that can help you out.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this contest. And that was the thing, like you said, some of the other karaoke contests, the judges are somebody's aunt. You know what I mean? It's just
I hate that.
I thought it'd be fun to be a judge. No, the people who are critiquing you are people who are doing the thing.
Yeah. I mean, you could lose one of those competitions just because a judge is a bigger fan of Ed Sheeran than the artist that somebody else sang. I mean, it goes.
Or when they're popularity contests.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes to say we're critiquing, we're picking apart these performances, acting like we're these like these perfect musicians, but me and you will tell you I make 1,000 mistakes
Oh,
on stage
100%.
every concert, and the thing is the difference between that and this is like we don't have judges, we just have another like a half a second to just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
so
that's-
yeah, we're in no shape or form like these perfect like just monolith like musicians. Like we make mistakes probably more than these contestants do. Like sometimes.
I think I did that on one of my critiques to one of the contestants last year, where they did make a mistake and they just rolled through it, and I complimented them on that. That's one thing. You make a mistake on stage, and you can like let that mistake ruin your whole performance, or you can just like go through it and like keep.
I would like to take a minute to touch on the venue. The venue has improved dramatically.
Yeah.
They've taken some of the obstructions that, for sound-wise, were in the way, and they are no longer there.
Yeah.
So the sound now is great throughout the whole venue, going all the way to the bar, to the deck that's on the bar. There's no roof in the way anymore.
Nice.
So that's now something that Derek has done down there at Riverside. He's made the venue better. All the divots are filled in, the grass. The venue is really nice, and I can say this, for being down there all winter playing music, the kitchen has now stepped it up.
Yeah.
We have to mention that. Last year we had some problem with people getting their food. We had large groups of tables that were waiting forever. But I can promise you this year the kitchen staff is on point.
Yeah.
He's put a lot of money into his kitchen down there to make things better and easier for them to work with. So you're not going to wait an hour and a half on cheese sticks this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say that if you're bringing your family and your friends, they're coming for a night of enjoyment. They will have a good time.
I'm kind of bummed I'm gonna miss week 1. Like,
oh, you'll be put in bay.
Yeah, I'll be put in bay. I'm not even know what my name is, but week 1 is gonna be like that's my favorite week. Is like you get to see everybody for the first time, and then you get to kind of see like the week 1 performance compared to like the later performances, like the growth and stuff.
Can we just like teams him? Like you'll just have like a hot tub behind you, be like, hey, just
Yes, it's like let's watch it. But like I can't wait for this year just because like what we talked about. Like now people know how to play the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be very different. I hope it's different this year.
Yeah.
Because everybody was kind of a little too nice, but I think again this is the first time something like this has happened. So everybody's just trying to, but no, cause chaos.
Last year we did all the judges passed the mic to like this person would sing, so I would like hand the mic over to like Tim was a judge last year, and he would like critique him. The next time you would do it, like part of me wants to like have every judge throw in their like 2 cents kind of, because like sometimes you don't get the
see what our time allotments are. We could probably do that.
Because like you brought up a good point that helped Andy out was when you were, I can't remember who the contestant was, but you were telling them like, you do this song very well. See what the key is.
Oh,
yeah, that helped.
And
he mentions that. Yeah.
Andy heard you say that. He was sitting off the table, but he heard you say that, and then he started doing that when he picked songs.
Yeah, and like a lot of karaoke singers probably don't realize like if you have your list of say 10 songs and you do it every show, and you sound good on it, odds are most of those are in the same key because that matches your voice. Same way with Donna, who comes to all our karaoke shows. Shout out Donna. I told her one time, like, that 6 out of 8 of the songs you sing are in the key of C. Go home, Google songs in the key of C, and I guarantee you'll have a list of like songs that you're naturally going to sound good.
What you're singing.
Yep.
Dude, that's the kind of stuff that I want us like we need to keep doing for the contestants. So like when I said like you will get better by being in this contest, stuff like that's a good example because
you pushed John Richmond out of his comfort zone.
And
now that John Richmond has come around a lot for just regular karaoke, he's definitely stepped up his game. He's got more songs that are upbeat. He still likes to stay in his country, but he's no longer just singing the slow songs.
Yeah,
he was the one that came up to me and he goes, I really liked when you guys critiqued us, and I was just like, I mean, if you guys want me to tell you you suck, I'll be more than happy to do that week after week.
Right.
Like, it's not that harsh, but we try to keep it like somewhat polite. But I definitely there's a couple people that we called out for doing every song you've done so far is way too similar. Like we've done that.
Yeah.
So we do try to kind of get you out of your shell and see what we can like force. Another thing too is there's no themes. So like a lot of other
you pick your song week after week.
Yeah, you pick your song. It doesn't matter if it's slow, fast, country, rock, whatever. And that was one thing too that I didn't like about some of the karaoke contests is like this week is country week, and you have me up there singing country, and like I don't have like a southern accent, a southern twang, anything like that. So to me, singing country is like it just doesn't have that sound.
Yeah.
But they never did a rock week. You know what I mean? Like it was like, but they would do like 90s week, 80s, you know, and 80s and 70s were hard for me because I don't even like
Not for me.
we had disco week that one week, and I'm like, what am I going to sing? And there was 1 week where, I'll never forget, this was the first time I ever did Lou Idol, and it's 2000s country night. I called my sister, and I was like, hey, what song should I do for 2000s country night? And she told me the song, and I just put it in. Yeah. I didn't even listen. Jesus. I didn't even listen to it at that point. I was like, I'll just learn it because who knows?
Yeah.
Like I'm lost in it. That was before I was like singing in a country band. But it was just like all that craziness. But I'm excited for this year because I can't wait to see like the changes. And, like,
improvements have been made in every single aspect. From the production, from the production of the restaurant, from just the prizes and everything. That
you guys knowing what you've seen last year and what you're going to come back to this year and what your expectations are going to be higher.
Yeah. I want to week 1. I want to see that division, or by week 2. By week 2, I want to see some division in the tables. I want to see. That's when it gets interesting for us. Is like watching everybody else play the game. You're like,
I'm excited to step back and watch it unfold this year.
Yeah, actually not in it.
So you're saying right off the bat, we're going to set up some tables. We're going to set up, a couple big tables. Choose your side. Is that what you're saying? Come on now. Yeah.
I would like to see Save Freed back. I don't know if he's coming back or not, but I would like to see him come back. Partially because like what you said, him and C Nasty, both contestants last year, they're releasing like songs and stuff now. Yeah. And like,
is C Nasty coming back?
I don't know.
Come back.
We haven't.
It's very hard to tell because last year we had 10 to 12 walk-ins like before it started, and
last year we thought it was going to be a bust. We're like, we only got like 10 people that signed up. We ended up with like almost 30.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then you just think like, oh, you just committed to 5 Saturdays, just
you're just like boom,
5 Sundays, just like that.
And it's just like, but they just walked in. They wanted to be a part of it, and that's why I was like, okay, great. So I will like, last year we didn't tell anybody we were going to let everybody through week 1, but that's like generally the thing. Like week 1 gives us a finalized list of contestants. We won't eliminate anybody week 1, then week 2 we'll start the elimination.
You're also not giving me your songs early, so we have to make sure that we pick a song that day too that we already have.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
And we already have it downloaded. It is a little bit different on that point. I don't have the ability on the fly down there to download and get stuff. Now, I mean, he did put a booster outside. It does work, but I mean, sometimes it doesn't even work.
It's Powhatan.
I will say this too: if
NC cable.
Two people can't sing the same song in the same night. So if somebody sings a song that you think you could do better and you want to do that later on in the contest, you are allowed to do that.
But you could also botch it, and you could be like, this was already done once, and now you just butchered it. So
right.
Yeah, you got to play that smart. But this is going to be good. Like I can't wait for this year.
Yeah. June 22nd, and then the 4 Sundays after. You got to follow the page if you haven't yet. Valley Survivor Karaoke VSK. We have content dropping daily. We have announcements, live streams every Wednesday. Get down to Riverside because it's going to be a fun competition. And you can win. It comes down to just much as how bad you want to like form alliances and everything, just as much as it is local talent. And I'm very excited to see.
We did have some competitors that did not want any part of the alliance thing, and they did not form an alliance, and they still got pretty far in the contest. So you don't have to form an alliance if you don't want to play the game that way. It's just once it gets down to the end, that's where it really starts to like matter. But yeah, bring your A game.
If I was Neil though, I would join a side fast.
I would.
I would join. Yeah.
If I was Neil, I would bring 15 of my friends and have them all sign up, even if they aren't good singers. Like I'm voting every one of you out.
Yeah.
Name of the game, man.
Yeah. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Valley Survivor Karaoke starts June 22nd.